D&D at this very moment here on Twitch, on the WebDM Twitch channel. It's 6 p.m. Central. You know what that means. It's time for a little bit of Starward Bound on this Tuesday night. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope they're doing much better than I, but I will power through because I'm a man, damn it. And so let's get to our sponsors, and then we're going to get around to cast and crew and jump back into the insanity, the infinity that is Starward Bound. Tabletop Loot. If you head on over to tabletoploot.com, and if you type in WebDM15, you're going to get 15% off dice. You're going to get 15% off mugs and t-shirts. And guess what? That's going to support our sponsor who helps support us. So it's the circle of life. So you go ahead and do that, and we'll call it square. Or if you don't follow us already on Twitch here, you should do that. And if you got a subscription burning a hole in your pocket, maybe do that. I don't know. I mean, Amazon gives a free one every month. Isn't that right, Emma? Yeah, that's right.
That's correct.
Yes. I love catching my cast off guard. It's a lot of fun. That's what a surprise round looks like. Anyway, so now that we've gotten that, let's get around to cast and crew and see how everyone is doing this evening. We're going to start with the man of the hour here from last week, Trey. How are you doing tonight, man?
Oh, yeah, damn, you did catch me kind of scribbling in my book. Huh? What's going on? Are we live? I feel like I should be.
Is this real life?
Hey, yo, I am so excited. Once again, we are out in space. Oh, my therapy session's about to kick in because I get to hang out with some intergalactic space pirates and get to do our thing. I don't know if you all tuned in last week, but we had some interesting reveals. And as a result of that, I've been listening to like Tupac's Dear Mama, George Michael's father figure. You know, I'm trying to get all the backstory worked in so that this can be an amazing episode. If you're just now tuning in, I played the half-elf Kinsey Monk with mama-daddy problems. Now, hopefully we gonna get worked out, man. So, man, let's get this thing rolling.
Yeah, we damn right we're gonna do that. But first, we're gonna move on over to Kiana. How are you doing, little Miss Busybody there, making stuff and stuff?
Yeah, it's been good. I've had the second snow day in about a week, which is weird considering my university has not had snow days for about 7 years. So you can tell what the weather's like outside. So I'm stuck inside, and I literally just finished writing my first game ever for a Sad Mech Jam. So that was a wild ride. But I'm excited to be here, continuing my sci-fi journey today, off into space with this lovely crew as I play E4 for everyone's favorite murder robo. Yeah, I'm excited to see what we learn today, because that's some fun stuff that we're going to be learning about our good friend Nicole here.
Yeah, that we will. Next up, WebDM's very own communications director, the incomparable Emma Lambert. How are you?
I'm good. For a second there, it sounded like you were stalling because you forgot my name, and I don't know why I felt that way, but it felt that way.
I was just dramatic pause. That's all. We were talking about Kurt, but I don't need you judging me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I'm Emma. I'm going to be playing Hildegard, who is thrilled to be moving away from the fuck corner. Thrilled to be away from that. It's going to be good. It's a whole new world. I hope we'll get Cool to be a little less emo than he's been for a while, because I'm a little bit worried he's about to turn into a fucking Sith Lord and kill everybody. But yeah, I'm very happy to be here and go buy Kiana's game.
Alrighty. Yes, most definitely. You should buy Kiana's thing. And last but not least, Greg, how are you doing tonight, sir? You hanging in there?
Oh, I am hanging. Go buy Kiana's game. I am hanging in there. I think that tonight on Starward Go Buy Kiana's Game Bound, that we should really be focusing in on what's going on with the Go Buy Kiana's game. I think that with this new sphere Go by Kiana's game that we are in, there's going to be a lot more different type of role Go by Kiana's game play. And I'm here and I'm playing Elry Go by Kiana's game Toss Bottle, your Halfling Arcane Go by Kiana's game Trickster. And I'm ready to get into this. So let's go by Kiana's game and get to it.
Hey, listen, if I were to buy Kiana's game, I know that everybody would buy Kiana's game. But before we get to buying Kiana's game, we're going to buy Kiana's game so everybody knows where we are when buying Kiana's game. Last week, the crew set out with a purpose to find the Heliax sphere, something that DeCool has been looking for. I believe you got your first clue from the Dawn in like episode 4. I think. And here we are at episode 30-something, 36.
Stole his journal and his panties.
Yeah, he stole his journal and his panties. His fresh panties. Embroidered and everything. Do you still have those, Hilda?
You know it. What else do I pick up gross things with?
So since then, this has been a slow burn for DeCool. But last week, it tipped over into a roiling boil as you were able to find a portal. And after much, some investigation, you just jumped right in. And hey, that was fun. You didn't die. That's all that matters. As you decided to jump into an area that had the phlogiston in it with a lit cigarette. And so after the fireball cleared itself, you managed to bring everyone else in and find in this weird pocket, we'll call it dimension of space, a sphere made of what appears to be some type of metal. Not complete yet, but probably mostly fully operational. And from it, a barge emerged, laden with troops, well armed and armored. They demanded you put your weapons down, and y'all complied. And as the barge moved up to the two skiffs bearing all of the PCs and their crew, the leader looked upon DeCool and upon closer inspection, he barked a sharp word, and every guard on the barge and the leader himself dropped to one knee and bowed their heads in unison. And that is where we are going to pick up tonight, crew. As you stand on your skiffs, you look before you, and this, it's about 40 feet long, maybe 20 feet wide. Like I said, it's a flat barge, has some decoration at the corners, but mostly it looks like it's for pretty much just transport of people and products, cargo, you're not sure, but all 50 of these guards are on one knee, head bowed. And there you are.
Huh. What is happening? Darko's gonna just look around, and he's gonna look around at his crew too. Like,
Yeah.
We don't know.
Are we supposed to fight them now?
You look over at Connington, the GIF vice admiral, and he's like, you see him like ducking, and it looks like he's trying to pull a pistol out of his coat. He's like looking like, now's our chance, you know.
Oh, slow down. Let's find what exactly is going on. Cool. Still kind of like, mentally rattled from blowing himself up and looking like a burnt out Daffy Duck, is going to walk to the closest person
Okay.
on the barge. Are the barges touching yet, or we're just still kind of just?
Y'all skiffs were stopped right next to each other, and this barge kind of pulled up a long ways and is pretty much touching. Like you could step onto the barge in about 10 feet in, it's, there's this he was the one that was speaking to y'all over some kind of device, very amplified, almost electronic sounding voice, similar to Ease. It was very, it was a created voice almost. But yeah, he's sitting right there. His head is still bowed.
Dakul's gonna walk up to him and what is the meaning of this?
And he now that you have addressed him, he raises his head and slowly begins and stands up. And he doesn't quite meet your eyes. It looks like his eyes kind of stop around your chin or neck area. He doesn't dare to meet your gaze. You bear the royal markings. We should take you to the palace immediately.
Royal markings? Now keep in mind, Dakul's hair is still like half braided, half plaited, half burned out afro, probably soot all over him still a little bit. And, hey, he's just gonna be touching his, kind of like doing a self-examination in a sense. What markings do you speak of?
And the officer, he kind of, his eyes rush past yours. He doesn't meet your eyes, and he looks up at your hair, and he looks at where that one white spot sits upon your head, and he like looks right at it, and he's like, you are adorned with white of your hair and your eyes. You are royalty. And he like ducks his head back down. Might we be your honor guard? It would be our privilege.
Dakul is absolutely confused. He's gonna look back at the commandant.
I was gonna say Elry's gonna step forward. And Elry's gonna say, Dakul, when someone asks you if they can be your honor guard, you say yes.
Yeah.
Then he'll just
Yes, Elry. You are correct. I will go with you, but only if you can make assurances that my crew will be safe.
And the look of sheer like kind of reverence, it fades a bit as he kind of looks to Elry and he looks to your other crew members. I promise you this. I will guarantee their safety until the Queen Mother decides what to do with them. And he looks at Elry and he's like, we have not seen your kind ever, though they are in our stories.
Yeah. Okay. I will go with you. And of course, Dakul is always gonna, look back at the commandant, make sure it's okay. He's not at command, just yes.
Different branch of government. You do your thing.
And then the next, Dakul is gonna think is, of course, I will keep my weapons close to me, just in case.
We would not dare disarm a member of the royal line.
And on that note, Dakul's gonna step on board.
Okay. You step on board and the guards kind of flank on either side of you. The officer himself goes back up to a control panel near the front, and he kind of turns back to the two skiffs and pulls up that looks like just like kind of a block of some kind of metal and you hear a click to cool, and he when he speaks again, it's amplified and kind of electronic sounding, kind of sounds a little bit like E. And please follow us. Stay close and in formation. And the barge turns and peels back towards the Heliax sphere. Hilda, do you follow?
I do. And I say to Elry, make sure to stay close to me. I don't like what he said to you.
I don't like it either. I'm not sure if those were bedroom eyes. I don't know.
They were not bedroom eyes.
Are you sure?
You already had your time at the fuck corner. There's no fuck corners in that sphere.
You don't know that.
Your dick is still in the break. I say it is.
You don't know that either.
I don't
Jailbreak!
want to know that.
Huh?
Tonight this be a jailbreak. Sorry. Excuse me while I pull out my beer from my redneck cooler.
What, you scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. What? I did not mean to scare you. I apologize.
I will. I'll stay very close to you. Commandor.
Commodore.
Yep.
Commandant sounds violent. Commodore.
Well,
authoritative.
Well, Hilda, you're going to have to make a decision on that. Is it Commodore or is it Commandant?
It's Commodore.
Okay.
it's Commodore.
I'm the Commodore.
Yes.
Commodore 364. It's just her age.
Pruitt, correct me if I'm wrong,
Go for it.
but I have a hat of disguise that I got from the Fucking Haskell Harkin. Can I touch my cap and I'm allowed to elongate by a foot, correct?
Yes. Well, I mean, hopefully. You paid enough for it.
Okay, so what he'll do is he'll kind of duck down and then he's going to look exactly like he looks, except a foot taller, just to see if that helps everybody out a bit with the storybook nature of halflings in this sphere. And then he's going to stay very, very close to the Commodore.
Right. Okay. And Aury, you actually like look over, and I believe y'all took Sweet Pea with you, the elf from the Driftlord. And Aury, as you're changing, you like look over and you can see her like throw you a wink, and you see a kind of just a wisp of magic like kind of run over her, and just her ears flat like kind of round off, and her eyes change ever so slightly to just kind of look, and she just looks like a human. And then goes back to just, filing her nails, just looking very disinterested at this whole spectacle that is playing out right now. As y'all,
Elry notices and completely ignores her.
there you go. We're going to have an ignore off till the tension goes nowhere and y'all jump each other's bones. And so as you draw closer to the sphere itself, you begin to see a large kind of hangar door begin to open up as the barge approaches, and a blinding light. DeCool, it actually kind of hurts a little bit, as you can see straight through to the heart of the sphere. This sphere is probably, you would consider it the largest planet you've ever seen. It's larger than any star you have ever seen. It is nowhere near the size of a normal sphere. You know that. And as this door opens up, you see to the heart of it, and you see a bright burning star at the heart of it. You can also see flickers of something passing between you and that star. The distances are hard to gauge, but you definitely can see the makings of cities and farmlands on the inside of the sphere, on the inside wall. Those in the modern realm would call this it's called a Dyson sphere, just to give you an idea. And as you enter this doorway, you actually travel probably about 100 to 200 feet before taking a 90-degree turn down, which would then put you parallel with the ground level, as y'all are just kind of accelerating straight up into what would be the sky. And you begin traveling over very low, squat buildings, simply made, but the shimmer of metal rooftops is everywhere. It appears that almost every structure here is made of some type of metal. Very similar to what these guards are wearing as their armor and are armed with. And as you draw closer to the heart of an immense city, you can see as you move towards the center of it, the buildings get taller until there are these spires that are topping 200, 300 feet. Taller than any building you've ever seen on Neros 4, for sure. And you pull up to the tallest building at the very heart of this massive, sprawling metal city. And there is a landing atop it. You would guess, Elry, you would guess as a sailor, and everybody here you've been flying for a bit, but you're probably about 1,000 feet off the ground at this point. As you come up to this landing, there is a large domed room just inside a set of double doors. The barge itself pulls up and docks. The honor guard moves along each side of you to cool and up to the double doors. And as they turn and face each other, the spears slam down in unison, and the doors open up. And once again, the room inside is blinding as the roof is pure glass, and the light from the star at the heart of the sphere is beaming down and shining bright. But at the far end, through the mirage of light and heat, you see someone sitting atop a throne as you stand in the doorway to cool.
Okay, so we're obviously out of the Phlogiston for certain, correct? There's nothing flammable around, right?
I mean, as far as you know.
Yeah. This is quite overwhelming. I need to calm my nerves, and he's going to definitely pull out another one of his J's, roll it up tight, and fire it up. One reason to calm his nerves, and the second is everything seems all peaceful, but you never know. And it's one of the one tools that he has that doesn't look like a weapon, but still acts like a weapon. Now it's just me, and it's just Dakul and the soldiers, correct?
Oh no, the two skiffs, y'all pull up alongside. Y'all can see the honor guard, kind of march up in a double single file line, and Dakul standing there. So by all means, if there's nobody stopping you, if y'all wanted to join them.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely pause and wait for my friends, without a doubt. He wouldn't just. He already made one mistake, leaping haphazardly. But the very first question that would be on Dakul's mind would be, what is this place? What do you call it?
Are you asking someone in particular?
It's that moment of wow. He's saying it to himself, but loud enough for everybody to hear.
Okay. The same officer, he's kind of leading the contingent of soldiers off to your right. He's standing there in the doorway. It looks like he's ready to, he's almost like ready to announce you. And he kind of looks at you, and he kind of tilts his head, like confused a bit. And he's like, "It is the Heliax sphere. Surely you know this, being who you appear to be." And at that, he kind of like looks at you like a second time, and he actually meets your eyes. And Dakul, give me a perception check, or insight, excuse me.
Yes, I got you.
Yeah, give me an insight check.
A 13.
Okay. Yeah, he it looks like he meets your eyes for a bit and looks like he's maybe shocked. You're not sure. But his eyes kind of go wide a little bit. And he
Now,
quickly looks away.
Did he give me his name before? I was just checking my notes. I didn't see his name.
No, he has not given you his name.
What should I call you?
I am the Master at Arms. I am the head of the Queen's bodyguard. You may call me Zico.
Zico. I like that name. So where do we go from here?
If I could have your name, sir, I will announce you to the Queen. And then you just see him like hold an arm out into the room and across it. Looks like about 100 feet in diameter, the whole room.
And Dako's going to take a long, hard drag, and as he's pushing the smoke out, he's going to say, "Hey, I'm Dakul."
Yes. And he turns and walks in just inside the room, head cast down. Might I present Dakul? And he holds his hand out, or his arm out, motioning towards you.
I will continue to walk in
Okay.
the direction he is pointed.
Okay. And you begin walking across the throne room. Like I said, Dakul, the light in here is pretty much hell on your eyes from your drow heritage. It is immensely bright. As you draw closer, you can see that there is someone sitting upon a throne, but off to the side and down a few steps on a smaller chair, there is a gentleman. And as you draw closer, the person sitting atop a throne appears to be a woman. A woman dressed in what looks like a decorative breastplate made of, again, the same metal that you have seen. It is one of the most finely crafted pieces of armor that you have ever seen. It is all looks interwoven, like it was actually woven, but from one single thread. There doesn't appear to be any kind of breaks in it at all. It loops in and on itself many times. Atop her head is a very simple metallic crown, adorned with but a single jewel. And she looks upon you. And Dakul, you see a tear just run down her left cheek as you approach.
It would be at this time that Dakul, noticing everything that's around and just the grandness of it all, he would start feeling a little self-conscious. And as he towards this woman, he's going to try and try to dust himself off a little bit, and he's just really aware that he is completely unpresentable to be meeting somebody who seems as regal as this. I am a bit confused through all of this. Is she close enough that she can hear me speak?
Yeah, you have moved up close enough where you can actually see and hear her just fine, as she's still closed-lipped.
Who are you?
I am the queen of the Heliax sphere. I am Queen Galliana.
Queen Galliana.
I am your mother, Dakul. You have returned home.
Did you say my mother?
Yes.
How would you know such a thing?
And Dakul, you look upon the same silver eyes that you have looked at in any mirror, in any stream, getting a drink. They are your eyes. You look at her head, which is adorned, braided back and into a bun, but at the same spot on her head, you see a braid of white hair coming off and back into that same bun. You look again, and this woman, she shares almost every feature of your face, save your ears.
Yeah. I have spent my entire life waiting for this moment. Is this moment real? Is it true? Dakul, at this moment, there is nobody else in the room but him and her. And
Well, your friends are back a little bit. They were allowed
right, no,
in.
I'm talking from his perception, the way he sees it. There is nothing else. And like a child almost, he's going to walk right up to her as close as he can and reach his hand out to touch her face.
As you start to do that and you kind of approach the steps leading up to the throne, you hear from behind you like quick footsteps of the guard, Zico, moving forward, and she shoots a hand up quickly to stop him. And he kind of stops, and then she just brushes him, like motions for him to leave. And Dakul, you hear the doors behind you open and close. She looks to her left, to the gentleman that was sitting on the throne, the smaller throne to her side, and she like nudges her head, and he bows and walks back to a door that's behind the throne. And it is now, for all you know, you and her and your friends. And she stands up and walks down to meet you. And you feel your hand brush her dark skin. And you can feel the tear upon her cheek. And more follow as she takes you into a deep embrace and begins to weep openly.
Is it real?
I am so sorry, my son. Our society does not look well upon those that aren't human. Your father, he came here. I do not know his original intent. Whether it was to spy on us, to find us, I'm not sure. But we fell in love. And one night, I forsook my vows of marriage. And you were the product of that night. Please understand, I never wanted to send you away. But if my family had seen your heritage, you would have been killed before they cut the umbilical. Please know that everything I did for you. When they tore you away from my breast, I wept. I wept for a month.
Why did you not send word? Anything to know that you were alive somewhere. You have been gone my entire life.
Yes. I had to lead my people. The sacrifices we make for family are sometimes family.
I have never been happy and so angry all at the same time. It's whew. Do you love me?
I love you with every fiber of my being, Dakul. I am alone. I am barely clinging to my throne. And here you are, returned to me, like a miracle.
Give me one moment. Nicole's going to just take a half a step back. Take one more pull. Ash it in his hand. Put the ashes in his pocket and just look at her. Had I not found you, had I not made every endeavor to span sphere upon sphere to come and find you, would this moment have ever happened? Or would you have died knowing that you would never see me again and slept well?
Dakul, I have not slept well for most of my life. I can never prove that to you. I can never make up the time that we have lost. But I am happy that you are here now.
As am I. Hey, yes, I am happy. I'm beyond happy. Dakul is going to squeeze her as if he will never let her go, and let all of the emotions, the confusion, the anger, the love, all just flow from his eyes. Yeah.
And she as well weeps openly. You feel you're clutching her so tight that the edges of her armor are cutting into your skin, and it seems as if the embrace will never end. But then the rest of you see her like look up and look at you, and it's almost as if she remembers who she is. And Dakul, you feel her stiffen just a bit from that warm embrace. You have yet to introduce me to your traveling companions.
Yeah, the cool. Yeah, shakes that moment off and composes himself some. And he's gonna look like a child with the new puppy. This is my crew, my friends, my family. They have been with me every step of the way of this journey. Our commandant, Hilda God, our robotic but full of life companion, Ifo, a man beyond compare a, a, a half man of on beyond compare. Ellery, this has been my family. And it's in that moment that he realizes that really is his family. That really is his family. And the person that he's just met, maybe family by blood and by longing in heart, but is still yet to prove that she is this. This is what gives me the meaning. These people are the reason I am here with you today.
Then you have my thanks for keeping my son safe until he could find his way back to me. I extend to you safety and hospitality while you are here in this sphere. Please enjoy our way of life. Enjoy yourselves. We will have a banquet in your honor, for this is a momentous day. And she puts a hand delicately on Dakul's face. Son, I must make many preparations. There are those that will not be happy that you have returned. Others will be ecstatic. The Heliax sphere is a place that is changing. For the better, I hope. And perhaps you can help with that change.
For any opportunity to get to know you better, I am here for you. Whatever it is you ask, I am willing.
Thank you. Now I will instruct Zico to show you to guest quarters. Please, anything you need, and he can facilitate.
Thank you. Please, do not stay away too long, for we have much to discuss.
That we do. I look forward to many discussions with you, Dakul. I want to know everything about you. And she embraces you one more time. Quickly, but firm. And then holds you at arm's length and gives kind of a happy, just kind of sigh. I must depart. And she reluctantly turns and heads back out behind the throne to a set of doors back there. And the door that you entered opens back up, and Zico walks in and is waiting there at the door with it open.
We have found her. Oh yeah, we have found her. Oh, he's gonna the first. I don't know who's the closest. I don't know if it's Ellery or E4 or Hilda. Whoever is as closest is getting the world's biggest hug.
It's E404.
Hot skin or not, you will feel the warmth of this. Yes, and then Dakul is going to share that love and spread it. Everyone, this is a time of celebration. This is a time of renewal. Nothing but squeezes. He's lifting Ellery straight off the ground.
Uh-oh. And Dakul hugs E404 right out of existence. E404 collapses into a black hole, and that is uh-oh.
Oh.
Well, we're still live, so right now. We'll just wait for E44 for Kiana to rejoin us, but continue on. Do y'all follow Zico, or do you want to have a bit of a dialogue here in the throne room? It's up to you.
Yeah, Elry would absolutely put on the face of supporting DeCool and supporting his brother. This is a momentous occasion, but there is a palpable underlying tension that there were several comments that were made that were directed towards both Elry and kind of peripherally Hilda as well. And so Elry, in a rare moment of, because he's at a crossroads here. His brother is very happy in this moment, and at the same time, he can't not turn off his danger warnings, and so he will smile. Oh yes, I can't believe it, and then go over to Hilda and, are you feeling this?
Yes, absolutely. And she's gonna just look at the queen and give her a little thing. Get out of there.
What should we? I mean, DeCool's super happy. He's hugging E404, but I mean, what should we? I mean, should we play this fast and loose? Just, some people will be ecstatic that you're here. Some people not so much. It's the not so much people. If there are people that are going to treat us and side eye us worse than the people that are ecstatic for us to be here, you and I need to, tippy toe around this sphere.
Absolutely. There's no partying. We gotta be careful.
Well, now when you say no partying, I didn't really bring that up as a potential like a rule. I said we should be prepared. What do you mean, Commodore, by no partying? Is that...
I mean your dick's in solitary confinement. It's not just in the brig.
Well, see, this is a philosophical question that we could spend hours debating. I suggest we go to the nearest watering hole and discuss this rationally. And
I think we should discuss it in private.
Yes.
Yes.
Preferably with liquor.
I have my primary through tertiary flasks with me. I think until we know what's going on, it is not wise to show our faces anywhere.
Right. So drunk then is how we, right? I'm hearing you're talking, Commodore, and I'm hearing, Elry, let's get drunk and figure this out.
There's a certain amount of tipsiness that helps the function of a Commodore. I'm not saying that drunkenness is where it is. I'm saying it's something more between 1.5 to 4 drinks for me, 1/2 to 3/4 for you.
Oh, well, Hilda, I want to go ahead and say this. We've got a moment here. E404 and DeCool will be along directly, but I just want to say that the attitude that you've gotten dark. I know that there was, perhaps there was a shift in your religion. I don't even care about any of that. I'm just saying that, I don't know what. I'm just saying that when we started Fantastic Voyage, we were bound for the stars. You were a little bit more curmudgeon-y than you are now, and I can say it safely because I love you. And I really like the fact that you're willing to take these 1 to 4.5 drinks with me, and that's part of our negotiating process. I see that you're meeting me halfway, and I embrace it.
So you're saying you agree?
Yes, I was buying time for the cameras to get set back up, and I think we're good.
We're good. Excellent.
We're good. Everybody?
Drinks for everybody.
Let's go. Tally ho.
Yay.
There we
You're
go.
muted.
Oh, now there we go. Sorry, I had a lot of screens up while y'all were doing that. It was awesome. So yes, y'all are led by Zico out the doors and off to the side from where y'all docked to an elevator. Just an open air runs down the side of this immense building. So pretty much the view that you see on screen there is kind of like when you look down, that's what you see. It's just like the tops of buildings. And you go down about 20 levels before you're let back into the tower itself. And he shows each of you to your own room. And they are very, very fine staterooms with everything that you could desire. There's a large bathtub in the back, in the bath area, master bedroom with an immense bed. All the furniture seems to be made of metal, and pretty much everything in here, except for like the carpets. Looks to be made of like this same metal, just maybe just patterned a little bit differently here and there for like the pattern weld itself. And so Zico, he shows you to that, and inside he just kind of shows you if y'all need anything, you can just hit this button here, and one of the staff will come along and see to your needs, whether it's food, drink, if you need clothes, of course. He kind of like looks at all of you, and y'all have been sailing for a while, right? You weren't expecting to meet royalty. And he kind of like looks down at all of you and he's like, yes, we'll have clothes brought. But I will see to the staff, but I must get back to my guard duties. But if there's anything else before I leave, please speak it now.
Dakul still he's giddy, man. He's full on childlike right now, and yes, some clothes, something that would look presentable in front of the queen for me, please. Yes, my hair. If you have somebody that can come and give me a proper haircut. Yes, a proper haircut. Something that would make her smile at me.
Yes, we will send the royal barber. Yes. Could use it.
And so Dakul is going to be skipping around the room. Turning knobs, flipping switches, just soaking it all in. But you've never seen him like this before. Like he's full blown like 7-year-old. He's 7 years old right now.
Yeah, and Zico leaves, goes through the doors. Everybody give me a perception check as he's leaving.
$15.
19.
Okay, so not as good as 15. Gotcha. Well, so Dakul and Hilda, y'all see as the doors are shutting. Like I said, he kind of brought you into these big like staterooms. They're all kind of connected. You can go off to each individual room. But as the doors are shutting, you hear the distinct sound of like metal feet on the floor, just these heavy thuds that sound very familiar. And as the doors are shutting, you think you catch a glimpse of what looks like a very large, what would be an E unit, or what you think would be an E unit, walk by as the doors shut.
Did I just see this, or did we all see this?
You and Hilda did.
Okay.
You just kind of noticed, like, as you just kind of looked up right as the doors were shutting, and as they did, a form passes by, accompanied with that similar like y'all know what E sounds like when they walk, right? And it, like I said, it was very similar. And you just see the form kind of walk by as the doors click shut.
Did you see that?
I think I did. Could there be another?
Could that be? Could the overseer be here? Sorry.
Oh, overseer. Why would the overseer be here?
It's the machines.
I know it is the machines, but we just got here. We
I
need a
know.
moment
You,
to relax.
y'all can give me either an intelligence check, or if you have history, give me a history check. Because this was something that was kind of talked to, like y'all have had a conversation about this.
3.
You don't remember shit.
16.
16. Cool. You remember whenever you were in the tower, the mage's tower, that awful place. You remember, like, Zelo gave E a set of arms that are on E right now. And he said that he's been to a sphere where he's seen Warforged of similar make and model to E. And then he gave her a set of adamantine arms. And and they have them on. You know, they were like, Hilda attached them. And so that just, you like that, you that kind of flashes in your head.
And with that thought, Dakul knows what that thought means. It means he has to be taken out of his dream for a moment. Yes, Hilda, yes. Those are the arms that E440 currently has. Yeah, that could be a connection. There probably is a connection.
I mean, I hope there's not, and I hope that for once we go to something and we gain something that's purely joyful, and there's not something waiting to hurt us emotionally and physically just around the corner. However, I sense a pattern somehow.
Yes. Let me guess. You want us to go out and dig for trouble when we just found happiness?
Well, not immediately. We did promise Ellery that I would have 1 to 4 drinks and he could have 1/2 to 3/4 of one drink.
Okay. Before we go drinking and acting a fool like we normally do, can we at least take a moment to look the part and not gallivant across this beautiful cityscape looking like we are a bunch of vagabonds?
Sure. Ellery, you feel like getting pretty?
Absolutely. Prestidigitation, prestidigitation, prestidigitation. Boom! We look great.
Hey man, Dakul's not going nowhere until he gets his hair cut. It's not happening.
Okay. There is a very metallic, like, kong, kong, kong on the door.
You may enter.
And the door swings open, and a very peculiar looking E unit walks in. You see like a mustache kind of like twirl, like a twirly mustache drawn on its face. I am here to give you your haircut. Which one of you requires? Oh, you. And like they look right at Dakul.
Yeah, Dakul sees the arms and he already knows his fun is definitely about to be spent. Yes, please. Make me presentable for the likes of my mother. Yeah, so he'll grab a chair, pull it up.
Please let us
Make
go.
me pretty.
Please let us go to the laboratory in the back. And they lead you back to kind of the bath area. And as they go, their hand kind of comes up and like changes. You've seen Ease do this, But when this does, it comes out and looks like a comb and a little pair of scissors on one hand, and then the other hand does the same thing. And being in the room with this thing, it is definitely like an E unit. But if this is like a new Camaro versus like a 1970s Camaro that E would be. Like looking at it, like it's got like smoother lines. It's a little bit bigger, even though this is like the Barber unit. But their lines are a little bit better, like tapered. The eyes are a little bit different shape. That it's got those kinds of things. Just very small. Like this is a different model, obviously, of the same line of E units. But they go into the and sit you down next to the bathtub, and their hands just go to work like Edward Scissorhands, right? Just both hands at the same time. And in about 2 minutes and 25 seconds, like DeCool, it's like a movie montage. You look up, and what do you want your hair to look like now?
Before his fro was like really kind of like a little ragged. This time it's gonna be real short and real smooth. Almost like a helmet. It's gonna look far more presentable than he's ever looked.
Seriously, if you were to get down with a microscope, every hair is the exact same length. It is the perfect dome. It is perfect. Your white tuft of hair, even it just something about it, it's never shown so bright, right? Like he gave you a nice wash at the same time somehow. And you're smooth. And before you know it, he just kind of looks at you and runs his hands over your face and just gives you a shave like that.
Yes, excellent. This is what I should be looking like in front of royalty. And with that, he's definitely happy. I'm just assuming that there's clothes in the closet. He's gonna take his old ragged robes off and try and look the part. If there is clothes that look like everybody else that's walking around. They're cool.
Yeah, it looks like
he's trying to fit in.
Yeah, it looks like there's very generic clothes in the closet.
That's
and the barber, they say to you, DeCool, your robes for the evening will be brought later. Do any of your compatriots require my services or that of the tailor?
Yeah, they'll go look at them and be like, you need to wash your asses in front of royalty.
We have to wash them in front of royalty?
I can do that.
No. Your ass is also in solitary.
Well, perhaps you could wash them now. Do you require assistance?
Elry hikes up one leg. Prestidigitation. Oh, done.
Well, that is far more efficient. I commend you, sir.
I would like a haircut, if I can.
But of course, what style would you prefer?
I would like I would like an updo with some ringlets, like a Jane Austen character, or like Maud from Harold and Maude.
Would you and are you rocking a beard right now, or is that trimmed off?
It's never, because she was a forge cleric. It got burned off over and over and over, so it's just never there.
Oh, right.
Anymore. There's a couple of wispy bits.
Right.
That she's not really aware of, that just go way out. But.
Well, the barber goes to town on you, and it takes a couple minutes. You feel a couple of tangles being pulled out, and even the wispy bits that are left, they manage to make some ringlets out of those. They kind of blend into your hair. And Hilda, I'm not sure if Hilda's ever had a finer haircut. Whether or not she would say so.
she'll give credit where credit's due, and she'll hold it on the arm and say, "This is a very fine haircut. Thank you."
Oh, I appreciate your feedback. It helps me.
Can I ask you some questions?
Of course, you may ask me anything.
Who made you?
Who made me?
Yes.
Well, I was originally created here in the Heliax sphere many, many years ago, over centuries ago, in fact.
But by whom?
By the original creators here. Before.
Before what?
Well, before the Endeavor.
What's the Endeavor?
And the E unit, like, you don't need an insight check. Like, the E unit actually is like, looks around like kind of confused. Well, and it kind of holds its hands out and like, all of this is the Endeavor. The sum total of where we are now.
The effort to build this place?
The sphere, yes, that we are currently residing in, is the sum total of the Endeavor.
But the people who are the original creators, the ones who created the Endeavor?
They initiated the Endeavor. Their progeny and descendants are the ones to continue and hopefully complete the Endeavor. And you do remember coming in, like, there was a whole like hole in the top of the sphere, this sphere. Like, it's not done. It's about 80% done. But yeah.
Where we come from, we talk to our barbers and we tell them a lot of things. Do you have any knowledge of like the current cultural climate of this place?
The current cultural climate. What aspect do you seek?
We were told that people like myself and Elry here are not welcome.
Oh, well, it is not that you are not welcome. It is that, well, there are none like you. I do remember dwarves and halflings from before the Endeavor, of course. But once it reached, shall we say, a tipping point, and the Heliax sphere removed itself, shall we say, none crossed over with us.
Why?
This society is human. The Heliax sphere was a human sphere.
So you mean to tell me everybody here is just one thing?
One thing? You mean only human?
Yes.
Well,
thing.
then, yes, that is correct. There are only humans here, as far as I know.
Has any other non-humans come to the Heliax sphere?
Well,
Before?
occasionally you hear stories of, yay,
Hi, sorry.
Kiana's back.
I told you the storm went bad.
Yeah, it's okay. It's quite all right. Well, I don't know if you've been watching, but E404, you're standing in a room and everybody's getting haircuts from a more up-to-date E-model. That is the Royal Barber. And he is currently, they are currently answering the party's questions. What was the last one again? Sorry.
The last question?
Yeah.
Have there been other non-humans here before?
Yes, before there were. That is correct. At the end of the First Interspherical War, the Heliax sphere suffered catastrophic damage. 2 of the 4 planets were destroyed. The sphere itself was cracked. The endeavor was to ensure the race of the Helaxians could survive. Thus, we are here. They created their own sphere.
Hmm. So, are we in danger?
In danger of what?
No, exactly. In danger of what? I have been in space too long, and I think everybody is trying to kill us. Never mind that thought.
Ah, no. No one would
Who's
dare
gonna go?
raise... No one would raise a hand to you. You bear the royal markings.
What about the rest of us, though?
I am not sure. The behavior of humans is sometimes perplexing to me.
It sounds as though you're implying there was all sorts of racial cleansing events that happened during the Endeavor, and that
Not so much racial cleansing, I would call it. More of a deportation when the Endeavor was in full. The Heliaxians grew weary of war. They wanted to isolate themselves.
Oh, so they figured if they got rid of anybody that wasn't human, they wouldn't fight as much.
It was the elves that conscripted humans to fight for them in the first interspherical war. They saw it as a chance to make their own path.
So it's the elves that are kind of at the top of the we don't care for you food chain.
How would you say your interactions with elves has been?
I don't know. I love my enemies, and my enemies have loved me.
Things
Multiple times.
in the world have changed, obviously. It has been quite a while.
so the sphere decided to leave the rest of everybody else.
How do you decide?
Well, once the sphere was completed to a sufficient quantity and mass, it was theorized that the sheer weight of it in such a concentrated point would create its own pocket in the space-time curve. The hypothesis was correct.
Does this sound like anything that Hilda would ever know about from shipbuilding?
I mean,
Sounds crazy.
you can give me like an Arcana check if you want.
Okay. 15.
You know what he's talking about? It sounds like it's more just sounds like it created like a bubble, like a pocket dimension. It almost just like sunk through the space-time continuum because it was so concentrated and heavy.
Made its own demi-plane sort of thing.
Kind of.
Dakul is uninterested in anything right now outside of his mom. The only question he recognizes that these questions are important, but he's in a place of denial at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, this information I am positive is important, but what is it that puts a pause in my mother's face from time to time? She seems unsettled.
Unsettled. I do not understand what you mean. Then again, the facial expressions of humans sometimes, their meaning eludes me.
She seems as if she has troubles on her mind. And if she does, what can I do to put a smile on her face?
Well, the triggers and stimuli for human happiness, I have found that eating helps, and other activities, drinking being one of them, I am not sure other than that, though, for I am programmed to cut hair.
I understand. Hmm. So, you are unable to make requests. That is fine. I will be looking for someone to get whatever my mother's favorite food is. I do not know if you have flowers here. But
Yes.
if you
Yes, there are 27 varieties of flower that grow in the harvest lands.
you find whatever flower my mother likes and whatever food she likes and have it sent to immediately.
That I can help you with.
So the cool is going to be happy with that, and it's going to go off looking around the room, willfully not listening to what everybody else has to say.
Okay. And the barber unit turns. Is there anything else I may assist you with before I depart?
May I ask for your name?
Yes. My name is Edgar.
Edgar. That is a good name.
What is your name?
My name is E404.
E404.
It is good to meet you. And like he doesn't really know what to do at this point. This is the first time they're meeting somebody like them for the first time, and
like I described it earlier, E, like if you were to look at you and then this unit, it's like looking at like a 70s like Camaro versus like a modern day Camaro.
yeah.
Right. This is obviously a little bit more advanced. Lines are smoother, but different little features are a little bit different, things like that. But you're obviously from a shared lineage.
Yeah. Also, E is like super rusted and dented and all that stuff. So, yeah.
If you would like to go down to level 50, there is a refurbishment shop there where they can, and they look down at your like rusted, dented body. They can clean you up.
That is good to know. Thank you very much.
You are welcome. If there is nothing else, I will take my leave.
Don't forget those flowers.
Yes, you would like the Queen's favorite flowers and food sent to her room, correct?
Yes, immediately.
Shall I say who it is from?
Absolutely. Say from love, from the only one who matters.
Yes, love, the only one who matters. And Edgar walks off and out the room.
If E could look pleased with themselves, they look pleased.
Okay.
Yeah, and Dakul is already probably throwing on whatever the native garb is in the closet.
Dakul, as you're like throwing on just kind of the generic, like it's literally like the clothes that you put in a room that, like, oh yeah, go upstairs and then it's just pants and white t-shirts and stuff. It's basically that. And as you're doing that, there is another knock at the door and it opens and an E unit, the tailor, comes in and like their arm is like extended out about 4 feet. And there are just like different robes and everything on it as it walks in. I am here for the dressing. Who would like to be dressed?
Dakul jumps up immediately. Me. Yes. And he's gonna run almost to whatever the robes are that are there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Whatever my mother's favorite color, that is the one I want to wear. Yes, what is this one over here? Huh, I will need your help. I must look absolutely fantastic. There can be no thread out of place.
Ah, well, do not worry about that. There are no threads out of place. Let me scan you, and just like a quick like light kind of runs up and down your body, and then it looks and grabs a robe of like kind of like a darker cobalt and silver. This should fit you perfect. And like holds it up against your, like kind of just against your front.
Dakul takes off the clothes he just put on immediately and hurriedly starts to put it back on.
It's like they were made for you, Nicole. And just feeling the fabric, like it's the damnedest thing you've never felt fabric that feels like so, it's almost like it's not even there. But when you like just pull on a little bit, like it does not give at all.
Yeah. It is if it was meant to be. It feels like I'm wearing family. Is our feed still up? I'm getting the spinning wheel of death on my end.
Yep.
Okay,
we're still going, I believe. So, anybody else need to get dressed?
Hilda wants to get dressed.
Okay. The Taylor bot manages to find you some shorter clothes. These will require slight alterations. It will only take me 3.2 minutes. Please hold. And like their hands like turn into like scissors, and you see like 2 fingers split off into like 6 fingers and start threading a needle in on itself, and it starts like stitching up the legs and like basically altering these pants and shirt combo like right in front of you. And about 3.2 minutes later, it holds it up again and looks like it will fit like a glove.
Awesome. I'm still gonna wear my breastplate over it.
Okay.
Because the queen did that, so I can do that.
And it will go around to anybody that requires. We'll just say that your other companions were put in other quarters. And it will turn to Elry. Do you require any clothing?
No.
Well, in that case, I will take my leave of you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. And it turns to E and inclines its head just a little bit and then walks out. And once again, y'all are alone, freshly clothed, freshly barbered.
He's completely overwhelmed by the whole, there's so many other E units and it's normal here situation.
Y'all chat about that for 2 seconds. I gotta take a quick bio.
Yes, yes. Look at me. I look like I belong. That was a wrong accent for that. I look like I belong.
You sound different. You're changing. Cool. I don't appreciate it. We've been here 10 minutes.
Still Gideon running around. When can we go out and look? You are it. Everybody needs to hurry up and get dressed. There is a world out there waiting for us to look at.
I'm dressed. I'm ready.
I think we should keep all of our weapons with us.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Why are you saying it like that?
Weapons? They have shown nothing but hospitality. You want to bring weapons out?
No, ceremonial. We look like your bodyguards.
I'm the Commodore. gotta, you know.
And I am the fucking ear Elry Toss Bottle.
Can we try not to look like we want to start a fight? We have just arrived.
Well, I don't think us having weapons doesn't mean that we have to start a fight. There's some stuff about this place that I find disheartening. Like, I think, I'm just going to say something and you tell me if you think I'm full of shit or not. I think that this sphere created the dearth, and the pirates out there might be the people who they left behind in war. That's what it seems like. Those people out there, Isaac and Coddington, they said that they were the descendants of people who were left there after a war, and that they were left there to be forgotten hundreds of years ago. And now there's this place that's here because it was someplace else and it moved. And, you know, wherever that was, I don't know. And then we have this place where there's all these people, which I don't remember if there being any humans on the ships. Were there any humans on the ships?
On the pirate ship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were some?
Yeah.
Well, still. There.
And they said that they were the descendants of those left behind after the second interspherical war.
Oh, it's a different war. Well, sounded really good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, idea.
It's only about 100 years difference.
Pruitt, I have a question. How old does DeCool's mom appear?
DeCool's mom, she's human. She looks like, because DeCool is, remind me again, how old is DeCool? I want to make sure I get my timeline correct also.
Oh, shoot, man. I haven't looked at his age in so long. 18. No, I am so sorry. 21.
21.
Yes, I am so sorry.
Okay. No,
I
thought that you were like early 20s, like early to mid 20s.
Yes.
DeCool's mom looks like she's around like in her early 50s. You know, slightly graying at the temples. She has a couple of wrinkles, but still a very vibrant and quite attractive woman.
But of course she's attractive. She has found greatness.
DeCool's mom would be played by Angela Bassett.
Oh, that's my trigger. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
I can start listing off actors if you would like.
DeCool is starting to get slightly annoyed with all the delays of not going out. Yes, we are still flapping our gums and not moving. You can take your weapons if you like and look like fools ready to start trouble. I shall leave mine here.
Well, you do know that the banquet itself is not going to be for another few hours. So, if you would like, what would you like to do in the interim, or would you like us to fast forward? I mean, if you
the only thing I would add was
look around. You could. Just saying.
That's exactly what DeCool would do, but I am perfectly willing to move forward to the banquet if everybody else is cool with that.
Yeah. Can we drink before? It doesn't have to be RP'd.
Oh,
Ellery,
no. I mean, no, Ellery, you would see on the wall, there is a small bar with various liquids of the multitude of colors under the rainbow. There's something that's like a really bright green. You're not really sure. There's a liquid that is a deep blue. There's liquids here that you've never seen the colors of. There's something that's polka dot, and you're not sure if it's the bottle or the fluid, but it is polka dot.
Well, we're gonna drink that.
Okay.
You start stealing then.
Okay. You're gonna start stealing all the bottles of liquor. Yeah, once you start pouring it, you realize, no. There are 2 different liquids in that bottle of 2 different consistencies, which causes a polka dot effect as there are bubbles of a fluid that have what would be called a different specific gravity. So they do retain. Yeah, that's right. I'm a tech, Kiana. So they retain a bit of surface tension and stay separated from the rest of the liquid. And Ellery,
That's fascinating. Does it get you drunk?
give me a Constitution save if you're drinking the polka dot.
My specialty.
So Ellery's trash for the grand ball.
Let's see. That I rolled a 14, which means I will give you a 13. 13.
Okay. Ellery, you take one shot of this and you feel like somebody punched you across the face, like almost immediately. As the world kind of reels a bit and turns sideways. You almost fall over, but catch yourself. And you are slurring your words quite profusely.
Well, we'll only do one more shot of that.
Give me another Constitution save, please. Fuck.
I'm gonna luck that. How's a 6?
Ellery like takes a second shot, and it's like he takes the shot, and then like as it goes down, he just kind of tilts backwards, and he's hit the deck. You still do have a few hours to wake him up for the banquet, but yeah, he's out.
Yep. E will do their normal thing of just picking up Ellery.
Okay. And are you gonna take him to his bed? Let him lay down, take a little nap?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so E,
nap.
you're tucking Ellery into bed. Come on, get up here. You tuck Ellery into bed as there is an explosion from levels away, and everybody here, you feel like the ground beneath you, the floor beneath you, rock a bit. Ellery, give me a perception check from your comatose state.
12.
Yeah, you're still out. Does not wake Ellery up.
If I hear it, can I cast Lesser Restoration on Ellery?
Yeah, sure. Ellery he's a halfling amongst a king size bed. So yeah, you're gonna have to find him in all those pillows. But you could cast Lesser Restoration on him, sure.
I do. I just hit things until I hear a smack. And then cast Lesser Restoration on Ellery. Ellery.
What?
There's something blew up. An explosion. That should be
What?
important. Something blew up. Come on.
To the halfling cave. I don't know. Okay, I'm with you.
Get up.
Okay.
Get up.
Where's your coconut
Hey,
stuff?
Prue, what was the boom like? It's obvious that something is wrong. Boom, or could it be fireworks?
No. The building itself like rocked, and so a little motes of dust kind of fall from some fixtures, and most definitely the glass kind of shakes as there's just this boom, and you can hear in the hallway some heavy-footed steps of probably E units like running and orders being shouted.
Dakul's gonna head to the door and look out and see what he sees. Yeah, just to see who's moving what and where, and just like take a quick assessment, like a perception check.
Okay. You don't need a perception check. You see guards ushering. It looks like they're kind of funneling your compatriots out, and they're telling everyone to go down to the emergency exits There's been an incident. Please follow the, and it basically it's your standard like evacuation protocols. As looks like the guard, the palace guard is directing other guests out the doors and downstairs and stuff like that.
Yeah. First thing he would say is, what is the queen safe?
Who are you asking? You going up to
the closest guard? With all the chaos going on, whoever the closest guard, he's just grab him and just say, he's the queen safe.
Please, sir, please just go to the emergency exits. So there's been an incident a few floors up. I am not sure what has happened, but we have been ordered to evacuate the tower. Please, sir. And he's just kind of like, it looks like he's just trying to usher and do crowd control. While,
Elry would walk up to DeCool then and say, you're royalty. We can go check this out.
You are correct. That's when DeCool's gonna like stiffen up a little bit and try to look more regal and look to the guard and say, "Do you know who you are speaking to? I am the son of the queen. I immediately want to know everything you know about the situation and take me to see my mother right now. Me and my colleagues." DeCool is going to turn around and make sure he goes back in and grab his sword, all the weapons that he had just said that he wasn't going to bring. He's putting them on now, and then he's going to come right back to the door. Why are you sitting here with your hands on your side and not leading us to the destination that I have just told you?
And he was like looking around the hallway, trying to basically be like a traffic cop, right? And you give him this proclamation, and he actually like looks at you, and like meets your gaze, and like you see his eyes kind of go up to your hair and back to your eyes, and then he averts and does that same thing where he kind of like looks at your jaw/throat area and doesn't make eye contact with you. Yes, sir. I will take you to the Queen's floor immediately. Please follow me. And he kind of like scurries off and heads the opposite direction from the direction that they're telling everyone to go.
So we're heading into
satisfaction.
You're heading back towards the elevator that you came down.
And with the satisfaction, you can look back at Elder and say, "This could work in our favor."
Yeah, but we need to go towards where the explosion was. Let's show our medal here.
Mm-hmm.
No, we are going to make sure my mother is fine.
6 of 1. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. No, he's taking you up. The explosion came from above you, and he takes you to the elevator, and hits the floor about 5 floors above you, and y'all begin to ascend. And you get off the elevator into a hallway that is there's just smoke choking the hallway. As soon as the kind of the doors open, you're assailed by the smells of you have smelt. It's kind of like gunpowder. I mean, you've been around Connington enough and his pistols, and you know that smell, and that's there, but there's something more than that, and it's like this acrid, almost acidic odor that kind of is permanent through this hallway right now. And you can hear the cries down the hallway of the injured, people wailing in agony. But that's what you see when the doors open.
DeCool could care less about the feeling of anybody, except all he cares about is he's got tunnel vision. Is going to find where his mom is at.
Okay. You head down the hallway, and the guard he kind of like, he looks scared, but he's kind of got into looks like maybe his training has maybe caught up with him just a bit, and he's like right there on your flank, DeCool, and he's like, oh, the Queen's quarters are just a little bit further down the bend here, and he's like looking around. Y'all see a couple of guards, bloody. you would have to stop to inspect them, but they're laying on the ground. One of them is writhing, one is still, but there's blood all over the place. Do y'all keep going?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So you keep heading down the hallway. And now that smell becomes more, it's like you can't escape it. And those of you that have to breathe, it's a little hard to breathe. It's a tad overwhelming. Just that smell of ozone, and you can almost feel like an electricity to the odor here. The walls are scorched around a very what was probably once a grand ornate doorway. The doors have been blown off their hinges, and like I said, the ceiling, the walls around the door, and the floor all have scorch marks. The ground has been gouged out. There's almost like a hemisphere where you can see like maybe an explosion just tore it open. You see the bits of an E unit, and you also see the remnants of some purplish flowers, maybe some kind of purple lily, exploded and strewn about all over this area.
Yeah, that would definitely make the cool pause, because he would try and put the pieces together with the busted up E unit and the flowers, and look back to his friends and ask, do you think it is the same robot? Is this the same?
It's a fight. What else do we need to know?
That means for my mother. And with that, the other guard is still with us, right?
Yes, the guard you have. Yes, the guard that was outside your quarters. He's still right there at your side.
What are you waiting for?
I mean, like he's like at this point, he's looking at this doorway and just like the smoke that is billowing into the queen's quarters, and like his mouth is agape, like he's just like it looks like he's in a bit of shock.
I need you to get it under control and take me to my mother now. Focus.
Yes, yes, sir. And he kind of like snaps to, draws his sword, and then he plunges through the smoke into the room. Visibility here is 20 feet at best.
Yeah, the cool's right behind him.
Okay. You kind of plunge into a look. You're not really sure what room you're in, because your visibility is about 20 feet, but you move in the room just a bit, and it looks like you can see the back of a couch, maybe like a sitting couch for receiving the guests. You're not sure, but this room appears to be pretty large. You haven't seen the walls to the side yet, as he kind of just plunges in, like I said, about 20 feet, and you kind of see the back of this couch here. The back of it is scorched. Smoke is kind of coming up off of certain spots of it where it looks like maybe it's caught fire. And that's the scene you see.
It's at that point Dakul starts yelling out, "Mom, Mother!" Just repeated it loudly.
Okay. You think you hear a cry, a female cry coming from somewhere to your right, Dakul. You're not sure where exactly. Again, smoke is heavy in here, and it's also just so you know, it is also getting a little bit hard to breathe, Dakul.
Okay. Dakul would head in that direction to the point where if he's almost passing out, he would not stop until that moment.
Okay.
And at this point, he has no regard for anybody else except her, and that's including his crew. So if he's plunging ahead by himself, he's plunging ahead by himself.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check at disadvantage then, as you're kind of just plunging that direction.
Also, Pruitt, Elry is going to hide, and the entire time he is spamming prestidigitation and creating fresh air right beneath his own nose so he can breathe.
It's the best cantrip.
22.
Okay, y'all see DeCool just bolt off to the right. Pretty much all of you heard a brief cry. DeCool bolts to the right. DeCool, you barely managed to jump over an end table that is next to another couch that is in this kind of like greeting area. So you managed to hop right over it. There's like an ascending staircase that kind of looks like it's leading into some kind of probably a bedroom. The doors are shut. Do all of y'all follow DeCool at this point?
Hilda does.
Okay, I just need to know that because like otherwise you're gonna have to make perception checks to try to find him again because that's how like thick the smoke is here.
I just want to stay hidden, but he's going to keep him in visual sight.
Okay, I just want to make sure. All right, so DeCool approaches. You're approaching a doorway.
He's going to do the first instinctive thing and trying to open it and see if the door opens.
It is locked.
It's locked. He's going to scream out for his mother, and pound on the door.
Okay, give me a perception check as you're doing that. If you're this is a shut door, so it's not at disadvantage because this is just sound. But y'all see DeCool banging on a. I mean, in this door, looks like it's solid metal. Also,
I rolled an 11.
You're not sure. There's wailing of pain in the hallway. There's fire kind of churning behind you in the hallway. It's a scene of chaos, so it's hard to tell if you can hear anything else coming from inside that doorway. What do you do?
Unarmed attack to the door where I would think that the hinge would be if it's like a traditional door.
Okay.
Let's see. 16.
That's to hit or damage?
To hit.
Oh yeah, no, it's an inanimate object. Its AC is
Okay.
10. So yeah, you hit it. All right. How much damage did you do to yourself?
8 points of damage.
Yeah, you punch the door and you take 8 points of damage as you punch a metal door that does not give and does not care about your skill of arms at all.
Okay. During our haircut and talking to everybody, would that count as a short rest?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Before,
totally. That was totally a short rest. Yes.
Okay. All right.
So, again, double set of metal doors locked. What do y'all do?
Can I see through them?
Can you see through them?
The crack. Can I see through the crack or beneath it?
No, like you go up and you try, and like this is already one thing you would even notice about this place. The craftsmanship of pretty much everything here is impeccable and almost perfect, almost machine perfect. And so you try to look through the crack in the door, and there's almost a sliver of light, almost. And so it's hard to tell even under the carpet. You do see there is a door lock there though, underneath the handle.
Can I try to pick that with my mage hand?
Most certainly. Give me that roll.
I see that. Alrighty, that's a little bit better. But 20.
That is exactly what you need. So you're sitting there and you're like, you're starting to think, holy shit, this is a queen's lock. And then it finally, you find that last tumbler. There was one extra tumbler than normal. And you're just like, why do you need 12 tumblers? But it's the queen's security, and the door clicks and reveals, and as you open it, you feel a rush of air. As this door opens and the smoke kind of pulls in.
I didn't check that door for heat.
Well, it does, you're not going to get a backdraft or anything. So don't worry there, sir.
I knew that you'd get it, Pruitt.
Oh yes, no. Always check. Fire, it's like a living thing. Anyway, but no. When you open the door, though, it appears that one of the windows has been shattered out. And so there is a draft that once you open it, the smoke in here starts to get sucked out this open window.
Dakul continues to scream out for his mother.
Okay. You scream out, and y'all rush into the room, I assume?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Still
cool.
hiding if I can.
So you go ahead and give me do your hide check as you go in. Again, there's a lot of craziness, smoke's pouring through. Dakul, this room isn't smoke is now filling it in and kind of pouring out the doorway. But you look out and you see on the left wall here, it's just like floor to ceiling just windows, right? And one of these panes has been shattered completely out. A quick glance around the room reveals a very large bed, 4-post bed with like curtains and everything. It's a queen's bed. But near the window, you see her crown that adorned her head. It is laying on the ground. There is a couple spots of blood near that. But other than that, you do not see the queen or anyone else in this room.
Dirty 20 on the stealth.
I'm sorry?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just dirty 20 on the stealth.
Okay, cool. Dirty 20 on the stealth. Dakul, what did you say?
Dakul would definitely pick up the crown. And he would head to the spot where the crown is. You said it's on the broken window, or is by the broken window?
It's near the window. There looks like there's maybe a table with like fruit and stuff like that and plates. Like it's the place for her to eat if she wanted something. But on the ground near that, it's just laying there. Just laying on the ground. And like I said, there's a couple spots of blood. Not a lot. Just kind of like a quick spray. But you see that near the crown, and then there's just a shattered window and no queen.
As panic is setting in, Dakul would look out of the window, not leap out, but look out and see if what he sees below, above. He's just looking around for any clues.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Give me a perception check as you kind of run to the window and look out over this vast city. And again, like it's a little overwhelming because the sheer vertigo of being up like almost 1,000 feet in the air.
And I rolled an 8.
Yeah, you run to the edge and you're like in being overzealous, in this emotional moment, like you almost like tip over the edge, and that guard, he kind of like catches your arm as you like look out, and you have that like, push in as you zoom out camera moment, as you look down and you see the ground far below you, all these buildings far in the distance, and there's various things crisscrossing, ships, other things, but you don't really you can't make heads or tails of anything just because you're kind of hit with a little vertigo.
Okay.
Can Elreed run up and look too?
Anybody who wants to, go ahead.
I'm gonna use luck.
17.
Not 17.
Not 17. E44.
Yep, that's a 7.
Yeah, you're just like, wow, it's really high in the air. And Hilda, you think you see what looks like some metallic eagles, like giant eagles, but just made of metal. It looks like there are 3 of them, and you're almost positive you see across the back of one of them is the queen. You think you recognize her garb with her robes and her gleaming armor. Mm-hmm. But what it is in the last second you see her like look up, and you can clearly see the white braid on the kind of the right side of her head going back into her main bun area. But you definitely see her like look up back at the tower as you are kind of sitting here in this open, broken window.
I will point out immediately. Say, I see her. She's alive.
Yeah, and Hilda points it out, and everybody can take a quick beat and look and find. And yes, there are 3 like basically giant metal eagles that are like kind of flapping their wings, but they're descending quickly down into the skyscrapers that are in the area right around the palace itself. And damn it, backstage chat. And yes, they're descending down into the buildings, and you see them kind of duck around behind one building as you're standing there.
Yeah. Panic is in full effect for the cool. If the guard is by him, he is going to grab him by his chest and say, "How could you let this happen?"
I was
Find her.
I was 5 levels below this. I was even scheduled on this floor.
Where are her guards?
We passed them on the way up here. They were dead.
Find somebody right now to go find her.
And he runs off.
Are they below us? Are they like diving down and in the process of leveling out?
Yeah.
Okay, at this point, yes, they are below y'all. They're below y'all by like 1,000. Like they're off in the distance. They're probably a good 1,000, 1,500 feet away from you, like ducking between 2 skyscrapers, making their getaway. Like it's one of those things where like they're just going out of your sight as y'all catch eyes on them, and they're heading east, so to speak. They're like, oh, they're heading that way, but if you're thinking, I'll just go ahead and save you, Greg. If you're thinking about jumping out the window and falling, no, they're like that way, also a good 1,000 feet.
Okay, give me a second. I'll figure out something. Hold on.
Ori creates a spell at the moment.
For me, okay.
But yes, the guard, he runs off, and he's calling for more guards.
Daku's gonna go follow right behind him to look to find some help.
Okay.
Yeah, and to make the announcement, he still has the crown in his hand.
Okay. So you're coming out following this guard, and the thing is now that the doors are open, this window's open, the kind of the receiving area, the kind of the living room area of her quarters is clearing out, so you can actually see the front door right from her bedroom door, and there are more guards coming in, and you also see the gentleman that was sitting in the chair next to her when y'all first were greeted by her. And he never said anything. She didn't acknowledge him, and he left. But he's there, and he walks in, and he's of the way he walks is of regal bearing, right? He does not possess. You don't see Dakul the same markings of royalty that have been bestowed upon you. He has just brown eyes, dark hair, and. But his dress and his manner, he's immediately calling out orders, and looking around, and look of grave concern on his face as he comes in, looking around. It's like, the cool, is it?
Yes.
What? This is a matter most grave. And he looks down and sees you holding the crown. And he actually pauses for a second and then looks up at you. It's like, where did you get that?
I found it on the floor next to the broken glass. Somebody has taken her. They have flown us off into the city in that direction. We need to have people moving in that direction now.
All right, I will summon the Air Corps. And he kind of turns around and starts barking orders for a second. And he's like, head east, search. What? And what were they on? Were they on a ship?
Metal
We need to
Bird,
look-
can somebody from the Air Corps fly down by us? Buzz the tower before they head off.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure about that. I mean, the pattern's full, but we can try.
Let's go ahead and do it.
Okay. And he barks some orders. And he begins again looking around. He comes back into the queen's bedroom with you and looks around. It's like, who would have done this? Our queen is beloved.
Is who are you?
I
Who are you
apologize.
to the queen?
I apologize, Dakul. I'm the queen's brother-in-law. I am Kadul. My brother was married to her for many years until his untimely death about a decade ago. I stay on as an advisor, and also seeing as how the queen has no other heirs, I am heir to the throne.
Yeah, that would absolutely make Dakul's eyes beat up a little bit. And it's that old school, the look you up and down kind of thing.
Well, if you want to give me an insight check, give me an insight check.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, it is horrible for me today. An 11. Yeah, an 11. Any insight?
I mean, you see him. I mean, he looks shaken, like he kind of like has taken the crown from you, with like kind of shaking hands, and he's looking at it and looking out over the city, and he looks genuinely shaken. To Dakul. Anybody else? Insight?
I did and rolled a 5.
Yeah, he looks genuinely shaken. He's holding the crown, shaky hands, looking out over the city.
21.
He looks genuinely shaken. I mean, he takes the crown with like shaking hands, like looks out over the city, and he's just like, I must meet with the generals. We need to form a plan of action, start a search. Please don't leave the area. I'm not sure what to do now. These are certainly dark days.
About a minute has passed, correct? Since Elri is going to look over at Dakul. I can go after her, but just me.
Immediately, Dakul says yes.
Elri jumps out the window.
Okay. Elri jumps out the window.
And so he jumps out the window. Hilda is going to cast a 5th level aid on him.
Who are the other two people that you aid? There's 3 people.
Dakul and E404.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're aided with what is that? 25 hit points or 20?
Just a second. Yeah, it's 20. You have 20 temp HP.
That's like all of my normal HP.
I know.
You effectively double Elri's hit points.
You just as you fall out the window, she says, "You may need this on your journey." Here, gives you that.
Mechanically, halfway down, puff, puff, give, or puff, puff, give, and left-hand side will meet him as he forms his Thanos throne and begins to in the direction.
Okay. Yeah, you begin heading that direction. Elri, you know that you're traveling about half the speed that those eagles were traveling.
Right. And so as he's going, he's just keeping a bearing on the direction that they're going. He can't, if they travel in the same distance. That's great. He's just looking to track at this point.
Okay, go ahead and give me another perception check as you start to try to track them.
That's a little bit better. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay.
I haven't. Go right ahead and keep talking.
Okay. Yeah, you need to like turn your light down just a smidge. It's a little bit too bright, just so you know. Perfect. Yep, that's a 15. So you begin riding your Thanos throne of flumpy air. Sorry, I'm gonna have that drawn. Hold on, just give me a couple weeks. And you think like, oh fuck, I lost them, and then you see in the distance, probably a good distance away, but you see the same three eagles kind of bank between two buildings, and it looks like they're now like, while they were heading like east, for lack of a better term, they looks like they're breaking and heading north. Looks like they were like, oh, we're gonna head east for a while and then head north. But you do definitely see that. You also see, because now you are down here, a shadow crosses over your head, just like 1, and then 2, and then 3, 4, and then you see multiple eagles, the same kind, but these bear different insignia, and they're being ridden by what are clearly Queen's Guard. They all fly like over Elry and zip by you.
Okay, so they're traveling super duper fast. As soon as Elry sees the first one go over, he'll time it, and then he is going to Misty Step up to one of those and basically appear behind the guy and be like, don't be scared. If he seems like he's going to be a problem, I'll throw him off and cast Featherfall on him. But if it's all right, I'm with the cool. They're that way.
And he kind of like, what?
He's just pointing that way. If they're they went north.
And the guy, he like freaks out for a second and like looks over and he's like, oh, yes, I was with the receiving guard to receive you.
I don't care. Let's go.
I just wanted to make sure you know that I wasn't shocked by your appearance. And
I'm not offended.
And you're riding on the back. Now that you're on here, Elry, these are basically giant eagles, but they are made of metal. These are not living beings. These are constructs. These are created. While they do kind of flap their wings, it's more just to readjust for banking maneuvers and stuff. You feel an energy thrumming through this thing as you are like banking down between buildings, rolling, doing flips. It's fairly exhilarating. It looks like you're hot on the trail of these creatures, that whoever it is. Again, there were 3 eagles. Go ahead and give me another perception check as y'all begin to make your way through the high-rise structures of downtown.
17.
17. Okay. Yep. So you bank through a few structures and begin heading north like you direct him. And what you see now is there are only 2 eagles now flying north. You're not sure where the third one was, but you think you still see the queen on the back of one of the eagles. You think.
I'm going to tell Puff Puff Give Give and left-hand side to go up in a Bermuda Triangle above the city and telepathically relay to me down if they see anything different from their elevated fart cloud positions.
Okay, Master Tostada, will do. All righty. And they begin to ascend.
I've got some eyes in the sky here. I see 2. We lost 1.
All right. So the rest of you, after a while, some more of these eagle riders come up to the queen's chambers, and they actually like basically an eagle comes up and lights on the edge, like its metal claws dig into the side, and its rider is riding on the back, and the cops show up. The sirens are blaring.
They found me.
Ellery makes a break for it. And Kadu, he basically is like, please, these are God, please help these people in the pursuit. Basically the rider, he motions for DeCool to hop on the back.
He's about to hop on immediately, but he looks at Kadul, who's holding the crown, and say, take good care of that, for she will be wearing it again real soon. And then he's gonna look at E and Hilda, like I'm about to roll and jump on the back of the bird.
Okay, yeah, you hop on the back behind this rider, and the eagle like peels off the building and plunges down and banks back. And then right after that, another rider comes up, lights on there, and he's like, he holds his hand out towards Hilda.
I take the hand,
and he lets you on there, and same thing, peels off and follows in pursuit of the eagle with DeCool on it. And then a third eagle like comes up and lands, and the rider like looks at E404 and is like, and he like hops off, and he's like, I believe it would bear too much weight, but it will pursue its broodmates, so you won't have to do much piloting. Just hang on. And he like basically hands you the reins, E.
Okay. Thank you. We'll just get on.
And then
don't want to leave their friend behind.
Yeah. And the metal, like the robotic eagle head kind of like tilts its head at E and like makes eye contact and just kind of opens its beak a little bit and makes a kind of a hollow metallic as you hop on its back, and it swoops off and in pursuit. And y'all begin to pursue the first group of the Air Corps with Ellery at the head. Ellery, back to you. Give me another perception check as you continue to duck and dive. You're getting into kind of the middling districts. Most of the buildings here are only about 10 stories tall. As you're kind of getting out to the outer spiral of this large city. Again, it's kind of like first floor, like one-story buildings, and it just kind of builds up into the Queen's Palace that resides at the heart of the city. So you're about 2/3 of the way outside of this large town, as y'all have been kind of ducking through these buildings, still in pursuit of these two eagle riders.
That's a 23, and I'd like Puff Puff Give Give and Left Hand Side to be on the lookout for other eagles beyond the two that we're chasing. I've got these two, so I'm mentally conveying to them, look for the third.
Yeah, and you're conveying that, and as you're conveying it to them, you get a signal back, like almost instantaneously, as in they didn't get your first message, as they're like, watch out! Give me a reflex save, E. I'm sorry, Ellery.
Like a dex save?
Yeah, give me a dexterity save. Because basically what happens is, as you're giving this command, that third eagle swoops out of kind of a 6 o'clock position and attacks the eagle itself. So y'all basically roll as it just like makes contact with the eagle you're riding. So this is just to hang on.
15.
All right, you managed to like just hang on. The rider, though, is torn from the saddle, and he begins to fall.
Okay.
You're about 500 feet in the air, just so you know.
No problem.
So you kind of hear a bit of a Wilhelm scream, "Ah!" as he tumbles by. And now that third eagle, Elry, is below you. It kind of made an attack. Your eagle pretty much did a barrel roll to kind of throw it off. And you're just kind of hanging on, like basically you're hanging on to the saddle that the rider was on, as your eagle kind of rights itself.
Okay, as soon as the rider gets ripped off, Elry will use his tongue as he has all of his necklaces on, and he'll pull one up that's got a chicken feather on it, and he'll point at the, just even from a grabbed position, point at the rider and cast Featherfall on him.
Okay.
So if he doesn't have it, he'll,
Yep. He begins to slowly descend to the ground, and like you kind of glance back, and he like looks around like as he's slowly falling, just in complete shock.
Yeah, Elry goes, "Halflings, motherfucker!" And then he, sorry,
changing hearts and minds. All right. So that basically that's kind of your action. Are you doing anything else right now?
Am I joined up with this other eagle now, like the enemy eagle? Or is this like a clutch?
No, it was more of just like a diving strafe. Like it just kind of hit the wing of the eagle, and the eagle rolled. The rider couldn't hold on. You did. It finished its barrel roll. The attacking eagle passed by and is now below you. As you're, like I said, you're hanging on to the saddle right now, just like hanging on for dear life.
If I have this extra action, he's going to message to the other riders, to Cool and everybody else, and say, she's that way, and point to the one that the two that are still going, if they haven't identified them yet, like try to pinpoint and triangulate the position exactly. And then tell Puff Puff and Give to keep eyes on the other two now. The third that came back to attack obviously doesn't have her on it.
Right. Okay. So you managed to relay to everybody. So you're just you're ignoring the attacking eagle right now. Are you trying to right yourself, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the saddle.
Okay, cool. All right. So you managed to get yourself up in the saddle. Give me a charisma check as you take the reins, Elry, in the saddle of this eagle.
Give what kind of check? What is this? Dexterity, you say? Okay.
No. This is a charisma check. As you try to take the reins of this metallic beast and get it to do your bidding.
Okay, I'm going to use my last luck.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so just a slight bit better. 13.
Okay, yeah, I got a 6. So yeah, you know the situation itself, this eagle, it's a little flustered. So I mean, it's almost like it doesn't even know that you're not its normal rider. And so you take the reins, and I assume you've ridden a horse, other animals, and it seems to be very similar. You kind of pull the reins to the left, it banks to the left, whatever. You feel like if you kind of squeeze its body a little bit, and it dives. And you move your feet back a little bit, and it kind of ascends a little bit. You quickly manage to get the basics of controlling this beast. But yeah, it appears to respond to your command. So you are going to continue in pursuit of the two eagles themselves. Give me just so you know, your friends. You three in pursuit. You are now have you kind of stayed up a little bit higher altitude, and you've kind of been following along, and now you're kind of descending, trying to catch up to these people that are quickly leaving town, and looks like they're heading to a more industrialized area of the sphere. Looks like there are these large factories. Those in pursuit, give me one more perception check. As these people, they're still trying to lose you in the buildings while they still have them.
17.
23.
23. I heard a 4 and a 7. 14 and a 7.
17.
17. Elry?
9.
9. Okay. E404. Because you were the last and you're still kind of a little bit higher, you see what happens whenever these last 2 eagles, the queen is on one. You see like a flip of one eagle over the other, and they like toss her from one eagle to the other as they split off. Everybody continues to follow the eagle that she was on, but you're the only one that clearly saw that there was like an exchange as they broke behind this one building, and you saw that flip at the last second. But you are at the very back of this kind of this train of these eagles in this pursuit as you're ducking between these buildings, and all your friends are ahead of you, and it looks like they're all breaking left whenever the eagle that she was dumped onto is breaking right. So y'all were headed north, so it looks like now they're all heading west, and then the eagle that she was dumped onto is heading back east.
How far away is everyone from me?
The nearest to you is Hilda, and Hilda's, like y'all are basically like one move action, then another. So like 120 feet kind of, y'all are all just kind of following in formation. But Hilda's still 120 feet ahead of you, and y'all are barreling like bats out of hell through all these buildings as you're just kind of like in this high speed pursuit.
How bright is it outside?
It is the brightest day that you have ever seen outside, and it appears to be that way like all the time. I mean, as far as you know, you're sitting here inside this sphere where like the sun is just like it's up there, right? And you're on the wall, and you're not really sure if there's a night here.
Okay. So if everyone's trying to bank off this way, would there happen to be a building or something that's kind of like in the center, so that if something happened to that building and they looked that way, they could see this eagle headed that other direction?
I mean, what do you mean if something were to happen to it? What would you like?
If I were to shoot a building and cause things to make sounds, and direct attention that way as E starts to move that way, would they turn and be kind of seeing that direction and seeing E moving that way?
Okay, that's going to be a 2-part thing. I'm going to need you to make an attack roll as you're kind of like banking in between these buildings. Because remember, I did say that the guy was like, well, it'll basically follow its broodmates. Yeah. So you haven't really been in control. You're just kind of hanging on. So I'm going to need a couple things from you. A, if you want to try to change direction away from the direction the others are going, I'm going to need you to make a charisma save right quick. All right, I'm sorry, charisma check. Okay.
Oh, that's not bad. 15.
A 15? Okay. So there's a brief struggle of wills. I rolled a 15 as well. So you kind of like, it starts to listen to you, but your eagle is basically kind of like, you see it kind of like duck, like it turns its head and it kind of side eyes you a little bit. And it's almost like you can't speak its language, but it's basically saying to you, but we're going this way. And like, almost like, but we're supposed to go this way. Yeah. So you're trying to get it to turn. Give me an attack roll. For trying to hit the building that you're trying to hit so that they can see it to get them attention. Because basically, if you succeed on this, they get another perception check.
17.
You hit the building clearly right before Elry's about to bank hard and follow these people heading west. You like clearly like poof, you fire off your cannon and the building gets hit hard and just light and sparks flash off. So Elry, you're about to bank left, and all of a sudden to your right, clearly a bolt from E's arm cannon like hits. And so everybody up there, you see it, and you're like, what the fuck? And so give me another perception check as you're all kind of drawn by that.
Fuck.
I have right now. I'm the king of 17. Boy.
14.
Hilda DeCool,
17.
What kind of check? I'm sorry.
a perception
sorry.
check. Making another one because E was trying to tip y'all off to.
18.
Okay, all of you. You all see this and glance over, and you see really low to the ground. I mean, like second story. I mean, we're like 20 feet off the ground. You kind of glance down an avenue, and you see a low-flying eagle with, it looks like the queen on its back.
How many feet away are they from us? How far are
Well,
they from
that's
us?
the thing is y'all are starting to bank left to the west, and it's going east and going that way. So you're gonna have to like peel off. E, give me one more charisma check since y'all did tie.
That's a 4.
Okay, yeah, it does not want to follow them. It wants to follow its broodmates, and it like turns its head back forward and begins to follow its broodmates forward. Everyone else.
Yeah, Elry DeCool said follow his mom, so he'll peel off and message back, split up, 2 on each. And he's just going after, he'll bank back with his bird to follow the easterly bird, the one that looks like it has the queen.
Okay, cool. So you're going east. Hilda DeCool, which direction are you going, east or west?
You already know I'm following my Maja.
I know you're going, yeah.
In that case, I'll go with E404.
Okay, well, he's technically following you, so I would assume y'all all peel off to follow DeCool's mom. The other guards that came with the original contingent that Elry has, they all peel off and head west. So y'all just kind of basically like peel off, and E, you're like trying to get the bird to go, and it's about to go west, and then it peels back and follows its broodmates.
So yeah, you would definitely hear he going, please go the other way, please.
Why won't you work? Why won't you work? Yeah.
No, why won't you? Like just like talking to it.
Okay, cool, awesome. So yeah, you bank back and you're following this guy, and now you're getting out to the. These all look like residential. Like these are all like small houses. You see, you're passing over, flying at immense speeds. You know, you can see like kids playing in parks and things like that. And you're. It looks like you're gaining a little bit on. At least Elry is. The 2 eagles that have DeCool and Hilda on them because they're double passenger occupancy. E404, you've started to actually catch up to them and you're kind of passing them. But Elry, you're like gaining definitely on this bird. You're the only one riding it. And you're like I said, you're kind of coming out and descending down. You're still about 200 feet. Like I said, this thing is about 20 feet off the ground. And the rider is hoods up. The queen is over his back, and he's just like leaning forward, trying to make best speed, heading straight east. You're about 100 feet away. And that's where we'll kind of catch up to right now. You're about 100 feet away. What do you do?
I need to get within 60 feet.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and roll initiative. And y'all are about double that distance behind Elry. You're about 100 feet behind Elry. Okay, so you're about 200 feet away from this thing. So everybody, go ahead and give me initiative.
18.
Dirty 20.
12.
Fucking 8.
All right, Elry, you're 8. All right, so E404, go ahead and go.
I don't really want to. He thinks about shooting and it's like, oh, what if I hurt the queen? So they are a logical being. They're not going to impulsively do something. When they're in control and not murder coded. So they're just gonna try to keep going, and just keep urging
Okay. Do you want to try to assume control of your bird again, or just let it continue to follow?
I will try to get control of.
Okay. I'm just
Again.
saying that's something that you could do right now. If all you're trying to do is like keep going,
Yeah.
you can at least try to take control if you'd like.
Yeah.
All right. So again, just a charisma check.
10. Again, he's just like, please keep going faster if you can.
And it kind of lets out like a metal screech, and you feel it like thrust forward and go a little faster. And you can kind of feel now like when you move your hands just a little bit, it is responding now, kind of moving back and forth, and you have assumed control.
Yeah.
And
as E kind of realizes, like, thank you. You are a good bird.
I mean, you would assume that's you're welcome in some language.
Yeah, we'll make it an assumption.
Sure. So that's that. Ellery, you see, the rider of the eagle you're pursuing, their head is still down. They're not looking back. They're just still continuing forward. DeCool, it is your turn, then Hilda.
What's the distance between me and the queen?
About 200 feet.
Okay. I'm assuming I'm like riding bitch, like holding behind.
Yeah, you're just kind of like hanging on. Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm going to scream at him and say, can you make it go any faster?
We'll get to the queen when I get there. I'm trying as fast as I can.
Try harder.
Do you have your sword in your hand, DeCool?
No.
Okay. All right. He's like trying harder, and the eagle's like, you feel it kind of accelerate a little bit, but you can also, it's one of those things you kind of feel it like shaking a little, like he's pushing this eagle like to its limits.
Is this it's a metallic bird, correct? But it's lifelike like a real animal, like full blown like a real animal.
It is a construct that looks like a perfect metallic recreation of a giant eagle, but it is, for what you can tell, it is purely and completely mechanical. It's not like flapping its wings to fly. It's moving its wings to bank and everything, but there is an internal energy source that is propelling it forward. Okay,
so it's not like a horse that could be spurred.
Well, no. Like I said, it's going a little faster, but you can, you've been on ships and stuff when I'm giving her all she's got, Captain, like that kind of thing. Like the eagle itself starts to shake a little bit, like as if he's pushing it, like he's pushed it now to 110%.
Okay. With that, I want to do a version of an unarmed attack, but more of like a swat on its hindquarters or whatever it is that's below it. If it's some type of attempt to make it giddy up.
Okay. Yeah. Give me. Do you either, if you have any kind of persuasion or some kind of charisma based skill or an intimidate, or if you don't, just make a charisma.
I definitely have intimidate. Yeah. I got to. Really
if you want to kind of just get going, give it a spur. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah. All right. That's a 3? 23.
I'm so sorry. Fucking Greg. Okay, 23. Okay, you push it to 120% on the reactor, and the eagle speeds up some, and you kind of push up. You're getting close to where Greg is actually. But I will say, the eagle itself, it's shaking, and you can kind of feel, below you, between your legs, it's heating up.
Okay. Is it like hot touch? It's just,
it's getting hot. This is a mechanical creation, and you're kind of pushing it past its bound. You've been around E enough, you're oh shit, either this thing's very angry or, it could pop soon.
Okay. Yeah, it's the pursuit is still on. Yeah.
Yeah, the pursuit's still on.
Pursuit.
Hilda, you're about 200 feet away. What's up?
200 feet away from the eagle we're pursuing. How close am I to my friends?
Okay, so y'all were kind of in a loose line. You were in a loose line, right?
Yeah.
But then E started passing you, and Dakul's starting to leave you now.
Okay. So who's within 30 feet of me?
I would say E is within 30 feet of you. Dakul's starting to leave you, and he was already ahead of you.
Okay.
But E is slowly starting to pass you right now. Like at this moment, is passing you.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to cast Bless on E404 and so that will get you some. That will, for attacks and saves, you can add a D4 in case you need to take the shot. And I'm going to try to will my my eagle to go as fast as it can. Whisper sweet nothings in its ear.
Okay, so you cast Bless. I'll just go ahead. I'll just go ahead and say, this all has happened kind of simultaneously. So if you want to give that to Dakul, he can, as he's kind of leaving you behind.
You get it too.
So I have to interject. What are sweet nothings into the eagle's ear? Is it birdseed? The Cowboys suck. Don Henley's awesome.
Tweet. Tweet chirp. Tweet chirp tweet.
Tweet.
You're a good bird.
Tweet chirp. Oh God, we need to bleep that out. There could be kid birds watching. That's some dirty shit, Hilda. God damn.
Tweet. Caw. Caw.
Oh, give me that sweet, sweet caw. Caw. All right. Elry, it is your turn.
How far away am I? You said I was gaining.
I said you were gaining. You're 100 feet. You're closing.
Okay. With my movement from this round, I close? How much farther do I close with my movement?
Give me another charisma check.
Okay, that's a 14.
Okay. You managed to close another 30, 40 feet. You're about 60 feet away.
Okay, well, this is that time, Pruitt, where we have something we have to do.
Bring it on. Bring it.
So the movement has been, I'm now 60 feet away, correct?
Yeah. 60 feet. You're flying in.
So I'm 60 feet away. I still have my action and bonus action and technically a reaction if I need it.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Here's what I'm going to do.
All right.
I'm 60 feet away. I am going to Misty Step off of my eagle 30 feet ahead of me into the open air.
Right.
Okay. In so doing, I am going to elevate myself a bit above the eye line of the enemy, hiding myself. They don't expect me to never all of a sudden not be on my eagle and above them.
You want to attack from 6 o'clock out of the sun.
I'm coming right in out of the sun. As I come in, I am going to cast Levitate on the queen.
Okay.
Now, if there's any type of ward up, I have magical ambush, which makes it a disadvantage on the save to resist the levitation.
Okay.
So I'm trying to rip her out of the grasp of this guy. If it takes him with it, I can carry it.
Okay. All right. I'm going to make a save for the queen, only because it looks like maybe he has put some ties down on her. So there is a little bit of resistance. So it's not normally, like a willing subject, there's no save. But because she's tied down, he is making her an unwilling subject, right?
Sure.
Follow that? Okay, cool. All right, so you're Misty stepping 30 feet closer to it, casting Levitate on the queen. What's my DC I need to hit?
DC 15 at disadvantage.
At disadvantage, you say. Hey, Emma, do you see these? You see what dice I'm rolling?
Oh, how did you get those?
What?
Which ones are those?
You
Those
mean these
yours?
two blue ones?
Oh, screw it in your blue balls. How dare you?
I rolled a 5 and a 2. So, Elry leaps out into open air, casts levitate. The queen starts to lift and restrain against some ties that have her like kind of like latched onto the eagle's back, and those ties break free, and she begins to lift as the eagle leaves behind. Almost immediately, Elry. Wait, do you have anything to do with your bonus? Oh, wait, no, Misty Step bonus, action, that. So that's that, right?
I'm going to start to fall, and so is she. So I cast Feather Fall on both of us as my reaction.
Okay. So, yeah, you Misty Step, that, Feather Fall. So now you're kind of both whatever. It is the Eagle's turn alongside E404. E, what are you doing as you see this transpire?
I am trying to move my eagle towards my falling friends.
Okay, but you immediately see that other eagle bank around, and it looks like they're peeling back, and you see the rider like looking back at Elry, and it looks like they're turning around hard. They're banking hard and coming back around.
Okay, wait, never mind. I'm gonna shoot that fucking that rider and
Okay.
or eagle, whatever I hit there.
Okay. So give me as it looks like they're pulling out some type of, you're not sure what it is. They're reaching to the rows and they're pulling something out and pointing it at Elry.
Okay.
Go ahead and go, because basically we have the same initiative. So I'm just
16.
16. At these speeds and everything, your blast like screeches right by his eagle. As he kind of like, you see the eagle kind of just barely adjust because of it.
I'm going to attack again because I can.
Because you can. I'm going to go ahead and attack too. Elry. Elry's gone. But I rolled a 19.
Oh.
So I assume that hits Elry, yeah? I mean, we can all agree like on a die. I haven't even added the modifier.
Let's check the D&D Beyond.
Oh, I don't have that up.
I do. His
Okay.
AC is 18.
Also, dirty 20.
Okay, well,
shooting.
this guy has a +6, so 25 to hit Elry.
What's he shooting at me?
Yeah, he's shooting at you.
Hit me with a 25?
Well, I don't know if you have anything you'd like to do. Does a 25 hit you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So he pulls out this long device. It looks like almost like a long pistol or something, but it kind of like ejects something, Elry, and this large kind of dart. It's some version of like an atlatl. I think I'm saying that right. I don't think I am. Maybe I don't know. But it's like it slings this projectile and just slams into you. Go ahead, and you're going to take 10 piercing damage as this thing hits you, and I'm going to need a Constitution save.
Can I use my temp hit points and kind of? I have 20 extra hit points. Does that still make me do the con save, or is that
okay? I'm going to say you don't take the damage from the piercing. It still hits you, so you're still going to need to make the Constitution save.
okay?
Thanks, Charlie.
Okay, that's a 4.
That's a 4. Okay, Elry, you immediately you're swooning. You have vertigo. You want to vomit. Basically, you are sickened. You begin just and you're going to take a further hold on. You're going to take a further 6 damage. This is necrotic. And I'm going to just say the nature of this poison. I hate the way temporary hit points work. because it's like, I want this to affect you just because of the nature of it. I get that your temporary hit points would have taken away. So you still have the sickened condition, but take another 6 points off your temporary HP.
Okay,
Of
so I'm down to
necrotic.
4. Cool.
But you're sickened right now. So like seriously, you are swooning. You're up on this eagle banking. All you want to do is throw up and die right now. You just woke up from a 3-day bender.
Pruitt did,
Actually, I should be floating down with the queen.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yes, you're floating down with the queen and throwing up into the air below you.
so Pruitt, did my dirty 20 hit this motherfucker?
Your dirty 20 does hit. I'm sorry.
Okay, I expended 3 charges, so that's 31 points of. Actually, more than that. That's 32 points of damage to this motherfucker.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. You blast this guy right off of his eagle. He was not even looking at you. He was obviously looking right at Elry, and he hits him, and you see a moment of triumph on his face as your blast catches him full in the chest, and it's just like the eagle keeps going, and he falls back, and he has a total Hans Gruber look on his face as he's like, and just kind of falls back and just from about 100 feet up in the air and hits the ground.
Yeah. So this is after I've seen this whole shooting of Elry. He's not happy. And as soon as this rider's taken care of, I'm going to try to get this eagle to get the fuck over to Elry and the queen, please and thank you.
Gotcha.
They ask very politely of the bird.
Okay. Yep. The eagle swoops down and and this is when you kind of pull up and it just kind of and just hovers underneath, and Elry kind of lands on the back of it. And the queen is floating down. I mean, you do have levitate on the queen, so technically she could just be floating. But she's still just hanging limp in the air.
Elry lands like Peter Pan on the wing and then immediately vomits.
Are you all right, Elry?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm fine. Thanks for the. I'm perfect.
Yeah. It's kind of like the scene in Team America World Police where Gary walks into the alley out of the bar. It's like that. It just, when you think it's done, you're about a third of the way through the scene. And so as everybody waits and Elry finishes everything, Dakul and everyone gather up, and the queen is there. She is unconscious, but otherwise she's alive. Seemingly no worse for the wear. A couple of cuts about her brow, a little bit of blood running down her face. But you manage to save the queen and begin to head back towards the palace as it is. And as you arrive back at the palace, of course, heroes, saving the queen, you depart from your eagles. And the master-at-arms, Zico, is there, a heavy look on his face. And he looks right at you, Dakul, and he says, "It pains me, but after review of the evidence and the E-unit involved, I must place you under arrest, Dakul. I'm sorry." And that is where we're going to leave off tonight. For this Starward Bound, roller coasters of emotion. I seriously hope that the crew hates me for this. It's my fervent hope. Anyway, so let's run around to cast and crew and see how everybody enjoyed it as you finish up your first adventure here in the Heliax sphere. Royal intrigue aplenty. Let's start with you, Greg. How'd you like it? Where can we find you? And what's your favorite color?
I really enjoyed it. I am Grimjack21502 on the Twitters, Tales from the Grim on the Twitch, and I think this year I'm working towards blues. I don't know if that's seasonal for me, but blues seem to be doing something for me as I age. So I think that blues. But no, I really enjoyed this one. This was fantastic. I love the kind of weird pseudo, almost like societal kind of Stepford Wives type of shit that's going on here with the all the humans in the Heliax sphere. It's neat. I like it, and I can't wait to see what more comes from it. I'm really super happy with that combo that worked with the Misty Step to the Levitate to the Featherfall. I'm happy. And so, yeah, you can find me on Grimjack21502 on Twitter. Coming up over on the channel, Tales from the Grim, we have tomorrow night some May Black Roses Bloom. Kiana and I will be becoming Minotaurs, I believe. We're Minotaurs tomorrow night. So we get to Minotaur up. And then on Thursday night, I have my cast for Dungeon of the Mad Mage at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But I think the one that I want to pump the most is next Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Highlander, the narrative, If on a Winter's Night, begins in earnest. Pruitt is a part of that one. He plays a Roman from 42 AD, and we get to see exactly who's going to make it to the gathering. I cannot wait. Running the cipher system for that one. So, but see us back here in space next week. Elry, out.
Yes, Elry certainly earned his stripes today. That was some awesome shit, man. Next up, Emma. Emma, how'd you like it? Where can we find you? And what is your favorite animal?
Okay. Fuck you, Pruitt. I loved it. Fuck you, Pruitt. That was great. I need to go hug my boy forever and never let him go.
Oh, yeah, mother separate. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to trigger you.
It's okay. And yes, so much drama, such an evocative space inside a fucking Dyson sphere. It's really cool. I love this game. And my favorite animal is, it used to be a sloth, but then everybody else said that it's a sloth. It's a chameleon because they have cute little feet, and I like their eyes and their little round, their bodies that are just like, boop. It's just like just a cylinder almost. It's cute. Yes, I want to get one, but Jim Davis won't let me.
You're your own woman.
He knows he'd have to take care of it sometimes because I'm a fucking mess. Yeah. So I'm the communications director for WebDM. We have a lot of things going on right now. And one of our secrets will be revealed tomorrow on Wednesday's video. So you should watch it because there's cool stuff happening. We are announcing a contest tomorrow. You should go see it. And yes, we have a number of other things going on Twitch. I'm not sure if Unearthly Twilight is going on. It looks like there might be some sort of just like cool hangout where you talk about raisins and mac and cheese. I'm not quite sure what's going on. But that might happen. And then we have No Lane Between Two Rivers this week. So the next for sure time that you can see us is Saturday for Conversations with Grant. And Sunday for The Lost Girls, episode 4. Me and Kiana will be on that show with Charlie in the chat, doing some awesome Cypher 80s vampire stuff at 2 p.m. Central. Yeah, keep your eyes on us. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, next, everyone's favorite murder robot, Kiana. How did you like that session? Where can we find you? And what is your favorite food?
You're giving me hard questions, Pruitt.
These are the hard-hitting questions.
These are
the Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross questions.
This was so good. Also, I fucking called it in the backstage chat. When we got into the Queen's room, I was like, oh, they're going to fucking frame us. I see you, Pruitt.
I'm not the one that told a robot to go get her something and take it to her. I seriously wasn't even going to do any of that until DeCool said that. I'm like, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, No,
I had something completely other than that planned. Anyway, sorry.
it was very good, but also, no, yeah. So you can find me over on Twitter at KennaS. Best way to figure out what I'm doing because I'm over the internet playing role-playing games almost every day of the week. As Emma said, I am on here on Sundays for the Lost Girls, where we do some fun vampire stuff. And apparently, I sometimes write games. That's the thing that I do now. So go check out my Twitter for all that. And of course, you can find me here every Tuesday to go back in space with this lovely crew. Favorite food? That's so hard. That's hard.
Is it?
Yes.
I can tell you right now what my favorite food is.
I like a lot of food for it.
I do too.
Don't make me choose. I'm gonna say Chinese home cooking. We'll put that category there. That's what it is.
Like General Tso's chicken? No, is that not? I'm American, so I don't have a.
Yeah, that's a little. That's.
I don't have a good grasp of that, so I don't know.
Yeah, not quite, but we'll make something for you for one day when we finally
Hopefully
meet.
one day I can have good home cooking Chinese food. That would be amazing.
Yeah. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, awesome. And before you go and buy Kiana's game, let's get over to Trey, the man of the hour. So again, before you buy Kiana's game, Trey, how did you like it? How long is it going to be before you buy Kiana's game? Where can we find you? And what is your favorite game that's made by Kiana?
Okay. Well, how did I like it? First off, man, I'm over here, behind bars talking about nobody knows what I've seen. Oh, damn. We got Fast and the Furious. We got stars on the inside of planets. I mean, what? Really? So we gonna go? We're riding on eagles. Giddy up. They're getting all hot. I got my mama is fine. Oh, damn, I got a fine mama. Ooh, wee. For that, I just, it's the little things, man. The devil's in the details. When you got a fine mama, you can just walk around and be like, yeah, that's where I got it from. Yeah, excelente. Absolutely. Double thumbs up, man. It's the world building as always is completely spectacular, man. As far as Kiana's game is concerned, as soon as I get off of the camera, the game shall be mine. You can Twitter sphere at Sintel and also on Instagram at Sintel as well. You can check me out also on Lights Camera Discover, where we teach the filmmaking process and storytelling to kids that might not necessarily get that opportunity to build amazing worlds such as this. My favorite Kiana game so far is going to be the unknown one that I'm about to purchase. It sounded good in my head. But thank you. I really do appreciate the love and everybody. Big shout out to Grant too, man. Man over there moving the switches on the background. Thank you everybody for tuning in, man. And best crew ever, man. I love y'all to death. Prue, you're a genius, dude.
Well, thank you, sir. I love each and every one of you. It is a pleasure to DM y'all every single week. I am Pruitt, one half of WebDM. Tomorrow you can check out our video on Arcane Sanctums. I'll just say that. I'll give y'all a little tease since you're here hanging out with us on a Tuesday night. So check that out if you're into that sort of thing. Also, on Saturday, I'm actually going to be playing on the PowerScore RPG Twitch site for Hell's Rebels. Going to be doing a little bit of that, reprising my role as Zarya, daughter of Zariel. Yeah, she's a tiefling. She's a badass. And then on Sunday, I'm going to be watching a little bit of that Tales from the Grim. We're going to see what's up about all that Highlander stuff. I need to start doing a little review here. Need to start making sure I can keep up with these people that I'm going to have to interact with and possibly fight at some point in the near future. So we shall see. But until next week, everybody out there, have a good time, have fun, please be safe. And before you do anything, two things. You're going to want to go to tabletoploot.com, use the WebDM15 code to get 15% off all that dice. And let me tell you something, that 15%, it's going to be enough to buy Kiana's game. That's right. That's the second thing. Buy Kiana's game. So before you do anything, buy Kiana's game, and may the dice ever roll in favor of Kiana's game. You have a good night now.